The Auto Club 500 on Fox, presented by Q Motor Oil, is sponsored by UPS, proud sponsor of Dale Jarrett's 88 Ford. The Auto Club 500 presented by Q Motor Oil, delivered by UPS. UPS delivers the chance to win 2 tickets to any Fox broadcast race. Just go to foxsports.com, keyword UPS, and Jarrett up to 12th in this race with Jeff Hammond, Chris Myers, the Hollywood Hotel. In time for a Visa race break. Greg Biffle leading with just 75 laps to go here in California. Mark Martin, Carl Edwards, and Casey Kane. Matt Kenseth rounding out the top 5. And Jeff, as we take a look and talk about pit stops anticipated here, only 2 caution flags so far, so it looks like green flag stops on the way unless something happens. How soon? Well,
probably about 8 to 10 more laps right now. The rest of the field will be coming down. We already know that the 20 cars made a pit stop. And talking about the 20 car, I mean, he's one of the guys who had problems in the pits already today. The 48 car, Jimmy Johnson right there, a problem with the jack man, Chris Anderson. And I mean, the guys were really upset because it really took him, I think, out of a really good position early on. And all of a sudden you see on the 11 car, tire carrier right there, he goes down there, hard crash by him, but then the 20 car, Chris.
Yeah, Tony Stewart was leading, slow stop here, 16.7 seconds, fell 14 positions, then had to work his way back up toward the front. As you can see how long this pit stop seemed like it took forever. And then on lap 122, the left front tire, he drops to 28th, but Stewart worked his way back up to 4th, but is continuing to have problems as we look now. And this Visa race break, no matter what life takes Visa. And 3 Roush Fords. I know it sounds like we've TiVo'd this remark here, but having teammates with you up front, you don't run against each other as much as you're working with each other?
Well, I mean, you won't get up there and dog each other. Right now, Greg Biffle is way out in front of second place Mark Martin. But, I've worked with Jack Roush before. As you can see right now, there's Dale Earnhardt Jr. right there. You can see Greg Biffle, the leader right now. He's closing up behind him, and I mean, he's struggled all day long. He's never really quite got on pace like he'd like to. He's been hanging around about 18th to 20th all day long, but right now, that basically mediocrity is going to catch up with him because the class of the field, Greg Biffle is catching up with him real quick. But going back to what I was going to say before about the Roush deal, he doesn't tell you how to race as long as you don't race, stupid. If you're up there racing each other too hard, he might get a little upset about that, but otherwise he lets you guys run your own race, and that's what he's doing right now. These teams right now are machines. They're making it happen. We see Greg Biffle go to the inside right there. Spotter lets him know as he goes underneath Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Biffle on a tear, trying to become the first driver to win at California from the front row.
One of the things about the Roush drivers, they all have the same race car. And so they all know what each other has. They know what adjustments that they're making in the pits, and that really helps all of them in the race. That sharing of information. They know the setups each car has. They know the race cars. It really helps them in the race.
There's Jack Roush right there.
Now watch Dale Jr. as Greg Biffle goes to lap him and gets close up underneath his rear spoiler here.
Fighting to stay on the lead lap. You can see the car gets a little bit loose, walks up the racetrack, and Greg Biffle in the 16 just drives by him.
That's one of those times when you look back to see where he is, and then you kind of walk up the hill, getting out of the way.
Is this the classic, he took the air off my rear spoiler?
I really think Junior might have just kind of glanced in the mirror to see where he is, and just for a second, and he lost a little bit of time, lost a little control there.
We are real close to this next set of green flag pit stops. We've already seen Tony Stewart on pit road. Here we see Reed Sorensen in the 41, Jimmy Johnson in the 48. This will be all scheduled stops. No one can make it from here, though, without stopping again, Matt Yoakum.
24 pits. And the 48, Jimmy Johnson on pit road. Now he said, I need help with forward bite. Don't tighten me up too much, though. His teammate Jeff Gordon will pit in about another lap and a half as Jimmy's down and away. His crew chief Chad Knaus watching the race on television. 2 more races left to go on his suspension.
Chad Knaus, unapproved adjustment in qualifying at Daytona, so he is away until Bristol in March. Carl Edwards was battling for third when he peeled off to hit pit road. Steve?
Mike, his car has gone to the tight side, so they're going to take half a round out of the right rear, that 99 of Carl Edwards, trying to place finish. Greg Biffle hits pit road.
Greg Biffle and Kyle Busch in the pit lane. Jeff Green completes his stop. Stanton Barrett in and out. Clint Boyer on pit road. So is Mark Martin. And here goes the leader in front of Matt.
And Biffle is in now. Greg said that he liked how the race car was running on this segment. They pulled the tear off the windshield to help the visibility, but no changes chassis or air pressure wise on the stop. A few extra pumps on the jack. Could prove costly. He is away to Steve.
Matt, same thing for Mark Martin. No adjustments whatsoever for that number 6 car. He said his car had gone neutral. He likes it. Dick.
J.J. Yaley is having the best weekend of his young Nextel Cup career. Qualified 4th. That's his best career start. Yesterday, 7th in the Busch race. They have only made a couple of adjustments on this race car. That was early in the event. After that, it's been so good, they haven't touched it. Yaley's group with a nice pit stop. Matty.
Jeff Knight already made a huge crank of wedge for Jeff Gordon. Left side's going on the car. Way too tight in the center, and he said it's way too free on exit.
Kurt Busch making his stop, as on the left of your screen, Casey Kane has become the 7th different driver to lead this race.
Matt Kenseth in the 17s on pit road.
A spin entering pit road. Denny Hamlin, the rookie, locked up the brake trying to enter pit road and spun. No caution as Hamlin gets back on the racetrack, but will have to come all the way around and try to pit again.
That's one of the hard things about this place. You come down there real hot. Here comes another car right behind him, and that's the 9 car, the leader. And it's just easy to do that right there, miss the end of pit road.
Yeah, the entrance of pit road is almost right in dead in the middle of turn 4.
Steve.
By Casey Kane on pit road. They just made a wedge adjustment. The car had been a little bit loose. He likes it, but it is a little bit on the loose side.
Good stop. 13 seconds.
You got to be 55 mile an hour on pit road, but you can be 155 mile an hour getting to pit road.
Let's show you what happened to rookie Denny Hamlin.
He's just so lucky here he doesn't hit the end of this pit wall. Gets out wide, just gets a little late turning down.
In your own old tires, it's not gripping very good anyhow.
Hamlin now entering his pit. Scott Riggs, Kevin LePage, Kyle Petty, and Bobby Labonte are in.
I just think back to Daytona when he won the Bud Shootout and everybody bragged on how great a job he did getting on pit road. Only one that didn't smoke the tires. He had trouble at Daytona. He had to drive through his pits at Daytona and go around and come back in.
Kyle Petty having a strong top 20 run today for the Wells Fargo Dodge. He pits while running in 18th position and is back out. Dale Jr. is in. Dale Earnhardt Jr., Jeremy Mayfield, and Mike Garvey.
And Greg Biffle in the 16. We've completed the cycle. He's back in the lead right now over Tony Stewart in the 20 car, who has about 10 more laps on his tires than Greg Biffle.
Junior away in 14.5 seconds. 65 laps to go in the Auto Club 500, presented on Fox by Q Motor Oil.